Hello everyone, today I have a Void build for Titans who want an easy way of using the new Unbreakable aspect. The goal of this build is to have consistent volatile rounds, Overshield, and Devour, all available from a quick use of the Unbreakable aspect. Starting with the subclass, we will be using the Void subclass with the new Void Super, Twilight Arsenal. This super recently got a buff and is hands down the best super on Void Titan. Plus, those axes are just too much fun to use. For the class ability, it's dealer's choice. I went for Rally Barricade for its shorter cooldown and buffs to weapons, reload speed, and stability, but using Towering Barricade for extra protection is completely fine. For our melee ability, I chose Shield Bash. I once again believe the melee ability to be dealer's choice, but I find that Shield Bash is easier to use than Shield Throw, and the added suppression in more difficult content is quite nice. For the grenade, I decided to go with the Magnetic Grenade. My reason for this is because in this build, we want the shortest base cooldown grenade we can get to have more uptime on our main focus aspect. Speaking of which, our first aspect is Unbreakable. Unbreakable allows us to press and hold the grenade bind to create a barrier that absorbs damage and charges a Void Overshield. Releasing the grenade bind will create a blast in front of us that deals more damage based on the amount of damage the barrier absorbed. The second aspect, Offensive Bulwark, significantly increases the recharge rate of our grenade and buffs our melee range and damage while providing additional overshield on melee kills. These two aspects alone combo great together, allowing us to gain overshield from our grenade and melee while giving us more grenade energy with the provided overshield. Moving into the fragments, the first one we are taking is Echo of Provision. This will allow us to have more melee uptime with the damage we cause with Unbreakable. The next fragment is Echo of Starvation. This fragment gives us Devour on Orb Pickup. This means that kills now give us health and grenade energy. Next, we will take Echo of Instability, so that kills with Unbreakable also give us volatile rounds. Finally, for our last fragment, we are taking Echo of Persistence. This increases the duration of both our Overshield and our Devour. As you can tell, our fragments here really bolster the effects of Unbreakable and give it very high uptime with every facet of the build playing into increased grenade and Overshield generation. The exotic we are using for this build is Armentarium. This exotic is basic on the surface, giving us a second grenade charge with grenade kills giving Orbs of Power. However, later we will find two grenades have hidden benefits in this build. Moving on to armor mods, on the helmet we are taking two Ashes to Assets and a Harmonic Siphon. This will make Unbreakable give us more super energy, and also make our Void weapon kills produce orbs. On the gauntlets, we are using Firepower, Grenade Kickstart, and Momentum Transfer. This enables more orb generation and more grenade uptime. Unbreakable hits will also give us more melee energy. On Armentarium, I chose to use Rainbow Resistances for added protection. On the boots, I wanted lots of grenade generation, so I went with Absolution and 2 Innervations. Finally, the class item has Reaper, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber. This enables our barricade to generate and collect orbs for more ability energy. Moving on to weapons, it's your choice for the kinetic slot. I'm using my Mountaintop. In the energy slot, you want to use any Void weapon that has Repulsor Brace. Two weapons I can recommend is Age-Old Bond and the Recluse. This is to maintain constant Void Overshield from the volatile we will be spreading with our fragments. Finally, for your heavy weapon, you can use whatever you want. I decided to use Deterministic Chaos since I had the exotic slot still open. Alright, moving on to the gameplay loop. For this build, the gameplay loop is quite simple. Simply find an enemy and activate, then immediately release Unbreakable. This will only consume a small amount of grenade energy while still creating a damaging blast. Killing an enemy with this will trigger our fragments and grant volatile rounds. Slay out with those volatile rounds until they wear off, and then do it again. If you do this and don't get a kill, don't panic. This is where that hidden benefit comes into play. Thanks to Armentarium, as long as you have your first grenade charge, you can do this pulse attack multiple times if necessary. All in all, this build is the best of both worlds, combining the survivability enabled by Void over Shields and Devour, as well as the destruction of volatile rounds. I hope you enjoy this build, and I look forward to any feedback you have.